one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name's Aston, and today we're going to do a review for the Power Season 3, Episode 4, Don't Worry, Baby. So, with this episode, it was really a nice little action-packed episode. To me, it felt like the underlying theme of this episode was overstepping. We've seen everybody overstep their boundaries, from Angela to Ghost to Dre to even Holly at the end of the episode. We've seen in every part of this episode somebody was overstepping their boundaries. Even Kanan at one point, he thought he was overstepping his boundaries. But so with that being said, we're just gonna hop into the characters and break down how each character was. So the first character I'm gonna start off with is Tariq. We see Tariq. We see how he's bouncing back after last week episode. Everybody knows last week episode he took a gun to school. He got almost expelled, just suspended. It looked like, well, we know he only got suspended without being expelled, and he has to start doing his counseling. We see when he's talking to Tasha about it, Tasha wants him to answer the questions, but not answer them in full details. She wants him to answer them just enough and don't say more than he have to. So we see he's really confused about that. He just wants to have a regular life. He just wants to have his parents back, both at home. He doesn't understand why Ghost isn't at home anymore. And that's really it with Tariq. We don't really see too much of him. We see him interact with Tommy and whatnot. It's actually a Tommy and Tariq scene this episode. So, I don't really know what's going to happen to Tariq. I see he's going down a dark path, especially if he really starts to hang out with Tommy. Because we all know Tommy is really about that life. We don't know if Tommy's willing to bring in Tariq into that life. That's a whole other story. But we know Tommy, when it comes to him himself, he's willing to do whatever it takes to maintain his status in the streets of New York. So with that being said, we're going to move over to Jukebox. So Jukebox had a couple little small scenes, but she had one key scene when she was with Kanan. But before that, we're just going to break down how Jukebox went down in this episode. So we see Jukebox. The first time we see Jukebox in this episode, she's at home. She's planning the big heist we've been hearing about the last couple episodes. Well, the last episode, I believe it was only. We hear her talking about their big heist that she's getting ready for. And we see Kanan walk in the room. And when everybody starts questioning Kanan, she tells everybody, look, I'm the leader of this group. I decide what goes on. And if he's part of the group, I'll decide if he's part of the group or whatnot. So we see everybody just fall back and start to respect her authority. And then later on in the episode, she tells Kanan, I don't know if you can really use your hands or not, and if you're actually fully functional. And she doesn't want to be liable for something he does while they're out on the job. So she has her girlfriend. We seen in the last episode, the last two episodes, we seen her girlfriend taking care of Kanan. We know she was actually told to have sex with Kanan to make sure he's actually up, moving around, and doing things of that nature. So this episode, we see Kanan. The first time that she interacts with Kanan, she's basically she has him masturbate while she has him get her off at the same time. So we see that happening, and that's basically Kanan's test to see if he's able to do the job, which we know, if you've seen the episode, he passed with flying colors. Then we see that Jukebox's girlfriend doesn't really keep any secrets from her. I'll talk about that secret later when I get over to Kanan. But obviously, she knows that Kanan actually had sex with her, and she knows that Kanan gave her jewelry to basically complete the goal, complete the mission. Kanan does whatever it takes to get the job done. So we see that she knows about it. She's not really upset about it. But in the beginning of the episode, I felt like she was kind of jealous. She has more intentions going on than we actually know about. Even though she seems like she really cares about Kanan and she wants him to be healthy or whatnot. I feel like she has her own plans or schemes for Kanan. We see that when they're in the strip club, stripping and everything. She tells him like, "I know what you did with my girl, or whatever. All you had to do was ask." And we say, "Okay, I'll ask next time." She said, "Oh, ain't no more next time. It's time for you to go." So now that she knows he's not 100%, but he's well enough off to where he can function again. And he basically no longer allowed in her house. She didn't say that in those words, but she basically told him, "Look, it's time for you to move on now." And when they're talking about him, when she's talking about her plans, she gives him advice like, "What did Ghost take from you? That's what you need to take from him." So only thing I can think of is about Tariq. Like I said, Tariq is going down a dangerous path this episode. He wants to be. It seems like he's willing to get more involved in the streets. His mom is like letting him know like everything we do here isn't. She basically told him, "Look, everything we do here isn't legit. So you can't just run off running your mouth." But I don't know. Like I can't really get a read on Jukebox. We like obviously she's a dirty cop. She's worried about money and getting things done, but it's her motive towards Kanan is what I'm like, not confused about, that I don't really have broken down yet. I really can't see what her true motive is. I kind of feel like she's gonna let Kanan do her work for her, and then she's gonna come in and basically once Kanan cleans out Ghost, I don't think he's really gonna kill him, but once Kanan does what he needs to do to Ghost, she's going to do what she does to Kanan, but something's going to happen where Kanan's going to end up killing her too by the end of the season. So, yeah. Now, since I got in the Jukebox, I might as well just jump over to Kanan. So, in this episode, Kanan. Kanan, he's back to being Kanan again, basically. At the beginning of the episode, we see him limping a little bit still. We see he's still kind of broken. He's not really himself again yet. But we don't see him on any lean. It seems like he kicked the lean out the way. He's back to being sober. It looks like we haven't. I'm not saying he is sober. I'm just saying we really didn't see too much drug usage in this episode for Kanan. But we see he's able to masturbate. He's able to have sex this episode. He's able to rob a jewelry store. And then the big thing for Kanan, like Kanan is still Kanan. We seen the first time we seen Kanan and I forget the college student's name. They interacted. Kanan felt like he was challenged by him. You know what Kanan did? Once they got what they needed from him, Kanan just killed him on the spot. No problems. No questions asked. And he went and stole some extra jewelry so he can smash later on. Kanan's his head's back in the game, it seems like. So when they go to the strip club later on in the episode, we see Kanan is talking to Jukebox. He's talking about, oh yeah, now that we're done, basically, I can kill Ghost. And she tells him like slow down. You ain't gotta kill Ghost. You best bet leave him alive. How I left old boy alive. Use him for everything you can get out of him, and then kill him. Kill him when he no longer has a value to you. And we see Kanan starting to evolve. Maybe Kanan will get out the street. Maybe like I seen in the preview for season 3, we seen Kanan actually approach Dre. So maybe that scene we seen, he's gonna use Dre as an inside man. We know Dre kind of betrayed him, so for Dre to get back right with him, he's gonna have to use Dre to get the Ghost, and that's what I think is gonna happen this season. I see Ghost with Dre is gonna be kind of like tiptoeing the line a little bit. So since I already started, I might as well just jump on Dre. Dre. Dre we see has improved in the club. He's still in the street, kinda, not fully. Ghost doesn't want him in the streets at all. But I understand it's kinda hard just to go cold turkey. Like you just can't leave your friends overnight. Like I understand that. That's completely like believable, like within his story, within his age. We understand he grew up with these kids. Well, not these kids, but these guys. They're all like grown now, mid-20s. It seems like it's kind of a hard age just to. You've been doing this all your life. All you know is hustling. All you know is the streets. All you know is these group of guys. And now that he does have a chance to go legit, he doesn't really want to go legit. First off, we know that he wants to be in the streets but look legit. But Ghost wants him to be all the way legit. So I like to see that he's actually making strides. He's trying to do the job. He's actually improving on the job. He's putting effort into it, and we see he's excelling so much that Ghost even brings him to the meeting when he's meeting to the new with the business opportunity for him to move a club into the hotel. And in that meeting, we see Dre. We know he's still new to the business world. He's not refined yet. He's still pretty street. So when he sees her, like she is a beautiful lady, and he lets her know like you're wearing that like that dress is nice on you. You're beautiful. I don't think he said it in those words, but he said it like damn you bad. And honestly, she was looking right in that dress, but in a business meeting, business type of situation, that's not like the type of behavior he should have shown. Even though she doesn't seem like she was bothered by it or upset about it, she actually seemed pretty flattered by it. Like I said, I personally think she has like a little thing for Ghost or something. Like even though like it's a business thing, she actually has like a little. I don't just think it's just Ghost. Maybe it's just towards black guys now. Like it seems like she has a little thing for black guys. So hey, everybody gotta have some chocolate sometimes. But with that being said, when Dre is back in the streets, though, we see his boy is asking questions again, like, "Hey, Dre doesn't know he had a promotion, so he's like, oh, are you ready to hit that lick? Then we might as well get this lick. Why you up in there? Why you bullshitting? We might as well just get this lick, get this money real quick." And Dre just let him know, like, look, that's not the move. But at the same time, with Dre being there, he found some useful information that Ghost could actually use to help out Tommy. So when he's there, he finds out that the Korean gang just buy some new Mac 10s because like a younger child is upset that Tommy embarrassed him, made him cut his finger off in front of his dad and whatnot. So he wants revenge on Tommy. So him and his group does a little drive-by, hit Tommy in the arm, but Ghost comes out the cut and basically saves Tommy in a nick of time. So so yeah, like it's a good thing that he disobeyed Dre, like he overstepped and went back, and it's kind of a bad thing, but mostly good in this situation. He was more overstepping when he did like the little comment towards the business lady. But besides that, I think Dre had a great arc this episode. Not really an arc, but great. He had great development this episode. I like to see him develop further into the club businesses. And one thing I did know about seconds, like not seconds, but number twos, there's no Julio this episode. There's no Lobos again, and it kind of sucks. But hey, so this episode, I'm just gonna knock all the feds out real quick. We got Greg. Greg's out on the streets. He links up with Medina to get information to try to figure out where Ruiz is. He finds out Ruiz is in San Diego. He flies down to San Diego. Me personally, I would never imagine Ruiz being a fucking janitor. I thought Ruiz would at least, just be sit back on the coast somewhere. Like, what happened to all the money he had? I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why he's a janitor. He should have money stacked up, even if he is on a different, like alias. He should have money stacked up under that alias's name. He should be able to stack money somewhere. He's living. He has a job now. He should have had a better job, or something set up to where he wouldn't have to work. I don't understand why he's a janitor. He's a drug lord. Why the fuck are you out here mopping floors? I don't even know what it was. It was like a fast food chain, but it couldn't have been a fast food chain because he was wearing all white. I don't know if it was a restaurant, but he's the only person there. I have no idea. Like that whole little scene was like out of place. I don't understand why Ruiz was mopping the floor. You're a fucking drug lord. Why are you mopping the floor? What happened to all your money? Where's your money at? Where's the brown paper bags? Why are you mopping a floor? Look, drug dealers these days. These boys don't plan for nothing. These niggas don't plan for nothing. But I feel like I don't understand this. Like I'm confused. Robert Weiss was mopping the floor still. That might have been the most unbelievable part. And then he flipped so easily. Like I understand he cares about his family. That was the way that Ghost got him to leave. and we see Greg's bringing him back. But I don't understand that he has no proof. But at the same time, it is true. We know in the last episode or two episodes, no, Lobos was in the last episode. I think Lobos only been in the season premiere, and he said that he had somebody looking for Ruiz. So we know there probably are hitters coming for Ruiz, but the issue is there's Ruiz doesn't have any proof that they're coming, and he just flipped so easy. He came in like beginning of the episode. By the end, we found out, hey, Greg's be reinstated. Ruiz is coming back home. He about to sing like a bird, about to get his Trey Songz on, and boy, they don't make drug dealers how they used to make them. I tell you that much. I tell you that much. But I don't understand it. But I don't understand is why Medina didn't think it was like suspicious. Like even though Greg did get put back on the team for finding Ruiz, why didn't Medina think anything was fishy about it? Like he didn't want help, he didn't want backup. It To me personally, like it was kind of fishy. I felt like him being an FBI agent, he should have found it was a little fishy. But hey, they're boys. It all worked out in the end. We'll see how it turns out next episode. Me personally, I don't think he's actually going to give up Ghost. Maybe Tommy because they know about Tommy and they can't really retry Tommy. So the best bet is for him to try is just to give up Tommy. If he knows the whole story about Tommy, I don't know if he knows the whole story about Tommy, but I feel like he can give up Tommy and everything will be fine as long as he doesn't say Ghost name. But I don't know if he's actually going to get the chance to say Ghost name. We see Proctor in the preview for next week, letting him know like, hey, he's about to sing. We don't know what he's about to sing, but he's about to sing something. So there's a chance that he might not even get a chance to sing, and Ghost puts him down. So after that, let's move over to not Medina, over to Mike. So Mike, when Angela, so we see he actually did put the request in for Angela to get the files from California. I don't know why he did that, why he just didn't stall a little bit longer, but hey, he did it. And with that being said, Angela actually found like a lead inside of it. So Angela found the lead about an old, I don't know, DEA agent, something like that, some type of agent that died. But now that he's dead, his wife is living like this luxurious life that she shouldn't really been able to afford off a DEA agent's salary. So Angela finds that, and she's gonna push that to see what's really going on in that situation. With that going on, we see Mike hit the text like, "Hey, we have a problem. Last time he said we had a problem, people came up dead. The issue was fixed. So let's see if his reach is that long again. Let's see if he can reach across the country and swipe. We know he can reach inside jails. We know he can reach in New York. He has a little pull around there. Let's see if he can pull over to the other side of the country, though. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see how long his arms really is. But I feel like we'll end up finding that out next episode. I'm actually excited to see how big Mike's pull actually is. All right. With that being said, there's not really too much more for Mike in this episode. We see actually bring Greg in. That was my issue too with Mike. He just brought Greg in. We know Ruiz is a big fish, but if Ruiz is going to sing and they don't want Lobos, and he's trying to stop Lobos, Mike he isn't really good at making sure Lobos doesn't get caught. He's letting all these things all these stray strings get pulled. We see Greg's pulling one string over here, Angela's pulling a string. Do we see the Knox? Yeah, Knox pulling a string over there. So the Lobos has so many weak spots inside his unit right now, inside his armor, that Mike can't really protect them at all angles and from all sides. We see Greg going for the juggler. We see Angela's going for the Achilles. Knox, I don't know what Knox would go for. I don't know. But we see him taking shots in all these different areas, and Mike just isn't able to be in all these spots at the same time to stop each one. So we see he slowed down Knox. Is it Knox? I think he slowed down Knox. I don't think it's Knox, but he slowed down Knox's investigation of the murders. We see he really didn't slow down Angela, but he's probably going to have that wife killed. Now we're going to figure out how he's going to do Ruiz. Either he's going to do it or Ghost is going to do it. Some way, I don't feel like Ruiz is going to make it out of this episode alive. If he does, he's not going to make it to episode 6. Like, he might get 4 and 5, but he's going to die in 5 if he makes it through 4, if he's really snitching. So, we'll see how that turns out for Ruiz. So, from there, I want to do a real hit up on the Koreans real quick. So, we see the Koreans angry. They do the drive-by on Tommy, which doesn't really turn out well because they're really, like, kind of sloppy. Like, he was bragging about it before he even did it. Like, he's telling them, like, oh, I'm going to need a new connect, blah, blah, blah. I need these guns so I can kill the white boy. Everybody knows there's only one white boy on these streets. Everybody knows if you say you want to kill a white boy, then say, I'm going to need a new connect next week. First of all, why are you even spreading this? Why are you spreading it in the streets? Like, these drug dealers are not smart. Like, I don't understand this. These have to be the worst drug dealers ever. Like, not even drug dealers, just like crime committers. Why would you brag about a crime ahead of time? I don't understand it. Like, I understand, like, oh, afterwards, like, yeah, I put Tommy down. But beforehand, I'll put Tommy down, and he doesn't know exactly where. Hey, it was General Mustard with the candlestick inside the basement. Why would you tell him exactly where you were? Like, I feel like we're playing a game of Clue. Like, he told him everything. Like, they got to do better with this. Like, there's for them to be like high level, like drug lords. The crimes and the way they're getting caught up is just so like novice level. Like, they're novice at this game. They're not really real. Even though we know the son isn't really the kingpin, the father is, but he should have learned something from his father as far as committing a crime, committing a murder. Don't brag about it before you do it. Don't tell everybody where you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. I mean, dude was horrible. It was bad for him. I understand why. Like, why? Why we need to tell everybody? Why are you broadcasting what you're about to do? It doesn't make sense. So, with that being said, let's move over to the ladies. Let's start with young Tasha. So Tasha in this episode, she has some ups, she has some downs. First of all, let me start this off. I love how Tasha and Angela, when this episode started, we see Tasha and Angela, they're both looking in the mirrors. One's listening to ghosts and one's talking to ghosts. Both of them are both in their like their undergarments, their underwear, bra. They're both looking in the mirror at themselves while like talking and listening to ghosts. And I loved how they did that little parallel to them. Like, all three of them were basically in the same conversation. I love that little parallel right there. But with that being said, let's get into Tasha. Tasha lies to Keisha again. Keisha finds the gun. Tasha lies like, oh, ain't nothing to worry about. I'm just carrying the gun for protection. How dumb is Keisha? I don't know. We really don't know. But obviously, she's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. So, she believes the story. She just tells Tasha, don't have a gun around when the kids are around or in the shop. And one thing I didn't like is when she said, why'd you bring a gun into my shop? Tasha just hit it with, hold up, this our shop. And I really don't like I really didn't like that. I understand like she did buy into the shop, but at what point? Like last week, you were like, "Oh, I want to protect her. I don't want her to get in trouble, but what we're doing." But now this week, I was, "Hey, it's my shop too. I can do what I want." But just a flaw. Like they missed. They missed. One thing I did like is like when she pulled Holly to the side when she found out Holly was pregnant. Is that she pulled her to the side and let her know like, "Hey, really need to decide about this baby because this life isn't for the faint of heart. Like being a drug dealer's baby mom, wife, whatever. Anytime he leaves the house, you never know if he's coming back. If you're willing to raise these, like, if you're gonna have a kid by him, you got to be expecting to raise this kid alone." So when Holly brought up, "Oh, you're doing it alone," she hit her. She let her know straight up, like, "I'm not raising these kids alone. My mom helps me raise these kids. I probably wouldn't be able to do it on my own. I have my mom to help me though." And then Ghost is alive. Ghost still contributes to this family. Ghost makes sure we're still okay. Ghost makes sure we're still alright. He makes sure we eat. He makes sure the bills are paid. If Tommy dies, which he could have died that episode, I didn't like he could have died that episode when he got shot. And yeah. So yeah. But I like how she put it in perspective for Holly. Another thing is when she warns Angela, like, "Hey, you're gonna be doing forever. You're now his little worker bee. You're gonna be doing forever for Ghost." So I like Tasha's development. Like I said, I don't really like Tasha as a character for most at most times, but this episode, Tasha actually shined through for me this episode. So let's get over to Angela. Sorry about that. We see Angela scared about Greg. You know, Greg's back. He has Ruiz ready to sing, and she's scared about that because she knows if he sings Ghost, he's probably going to be talking about Ghost. She's dating Ghost, and that's going to be a bad thing for her. With that being said, her Ghost and Pez, met earlier. That didn't go too well, and they're fighting about the children still. Not really fighting, but they're she wouldn't have met Tasha earlier, and she basically Ghost didn't want her to just go talk to Tasha all willy nilly whenever she wanted to. Ghost wanted to be in control of how they interact, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Like I don't really care that she's talking to Tasha. I understand like there's going to be times where she's going to have to talk to Tasha. If they want this kid situation to work, Tasha and Angela is going to need to be able to be on talking terms and actually communicate with each other so they both feel safe. Not safe, but feel okay with each other. We see Angela's okay with the marriage still going on. She understands the reason of the marriage, and I respect that. And what I don't like is once she found out that Ruiz is coming back, she just started backpedaling like, "Ooh, I don't think I should be in this relationship. I don't know if we're gonna make it. We might want to just fall back. Let's make sure I'm okay when your ass go down. I don't want to get pulled down with you." So she just didn't want to be involved with that. Like she feels like now it is a risk towards her career. I feel like now she's gonna start pulling back. Like before, when she thought, "Oh, there ain't no risk for me," now she knows that there is a risk. She wants to pull out. She was okay when she thought everything was okay, but now that she knows there is a risk to her career, she wants to pull out, which I don't really think is cool. I think that's kind of messed up. She's willingness to let him float. But one good thing she did, amazing thing that she didn't have to do this episode, she made Tariq did not. She made sure Tariq did not have basically a record anymore. She got the weapon thing expunged. She pulled a couple favors in New York, which Tasha didn't like for some reason. I don't understand. Why would you not be happy that she did this for your child? She didn't do it because she had to. She did it because she wanted to. Ghost didn't tell her to do it. Ghost probably didn't even think of that. She just did it because, like, oh, I'm partly to blame. I'm not fully to blame. I'm partly to blame because y'all badass kid was creeping through my stuff. But we see she's actually willing to step up, help out this family, even though Tasha treats her like she's a redheaded stepchild or whatever. So I'm glad she did that. I like how she did that, and she was willing to hold down Ghost for that situation. Not really, couldn't really do that for Ghost. She did it more for Tariq. Like Tariq, know, like I care about you. I want you to have a bright future. I don't want stupid mistakes that you made to hold you back. I'm glad she did that to show Tariq. Even if Tasha doesn't like it, Ghost doesn't like she's talking to Tasha, but I like that she did something for Tariq out of not out of the kindness, but she just did it out of her hope to make sure everything works out for him. So with that being said, let's move over to Ghost. So Ghost, though, he's running the clubs. We see him doing the meetings. He's bringing Dre. He gets a little upset at Dre, like when Dre kind of overstepped with the new business partner he's talking to. We see him get a little bit upset, which I don't really mind. It's actually pretty understandable. I would get kind of upset too. Like, like you're trying to teach him the ropes. You bring him into his first meeting, and we find out, hey, oh, you look bad in that dress. Come on, man. You gotta do better. You're making me look bad here. Which she didn't mind, but she probably did think it was a little unprofessional. But she didn't seem like it bothered her too much, like I said earlier. But it seemed like Ghost was more upset about it than she was. Also, Ghost's private security. Ghost is still not telling them the truth while he wants backup. We see he tries to sneak out of the club. We see his private security actually had to talk to him about the new business partner he's talking about getting involved in. So that makes me think maybe she might be involved with Stern or something. There's more to her than we actually know, and I would love to see that develop. Like as she's actually with Stern, trying to basically get back into the club somehow. I know how Stern is going to do it, but I don't think Stern is actually gone for good. Stern is a businessman. He understands these ways. He's going to get back some way. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I feel like he's going to do it. Um, and like Ghost he just doesn't listen to him, and he just doesn't know. Like that's when Dre calls, and he just has to make the move real quick. I like to see that he actually listened. Like he was upset at Dre, but he understood it to the most part. It feels like, and he's actually happy that Dre was there because he could go save Tommy. All I want to say is Ghost is pretty vicious with the handguns. We see him just roll up. We see him take two. First of all, the physics of it was pretty wrong. I don't know if anybody understood that. Like we see he's on the opposite side of the car. This was a little me being picky. He's on the opposite side of the car and he just get perfect headshots through a car. But hey, it's just me. He would have had to jump on him anyway, so he probably would have killed them, most of them. I don't understand why he went after the shooters first. I personally would have went after the driver first and then hit each shooter. But to each his own. The driver got away. We don't know if the son was dead or not. We didn't get to really see any faces. They were wearing rags on their faces, so we couldn't really tell who was who. But the Korean gang got away. The driver got away anyway. So, one thing we did notice in that whole altercation when he was saving Tommy, somebody seen his face. I mean, I don't know if they seen his face, but they seen him commit that crime. I don't think it was Greg. I don't think it was any of the FBI agents. I feel like it was his security guard. It seemed like they didn't really bring it up at the end of the episode or anything, but I feel like it was his security guard that actually got to see what he was really doing out in these streets. And I don't know why he thought he could just sneak out of the office like that. We know he had a security guards that's probably loosely on him. They fall back. They don't, even when he doesn't see them, they're probably there. And that's basically what happened with this situation. His security guards were basically invisible, and when he just committed a crime right in front of him, which will most likely come to light next episode. They'll probably talk to him about it and get the truth. Like, oh, they're probably gonna start charging him more because obviously, if they really knew who they were protecting him from, it would be a higher fee. They knew they were protecting him from a cartel rather than a club boss. I'm pretty sure that's a different price for a cartel and a drug boss. There's two different levels. There has to be a different, premium for those. But I'm glad that Ghost still went and saved Tommy. I'm kind of upset that he didn't stay and communicate with Tommy. He just killed him was shot and protected him and ran off. So yeah, let's move over to young Tommy. So Tommy, gotta be the stupidest dude ever. I'm just gonna start off with the shooting scene first, since I'm already let's start off there with Ghost. When he was getting shot at, when we see him get hit, I love that he took cover. But my thing is, he was willing to die though. Tommy was willing to die. We see that face he made. He had his gun clenched. He was getting ready to jump up and start shooting back, which didn't make sense. I don't know. He was pinned down. I understand that, but yeah. But when he gets shot at, obviously he's hiding. Ghost comes and like gets him out of the pinch, but he doesn't look to see who saved him. Like he didn't see anybody there. Did you not see anybody? And when you tell Holly about it, you just tell him, "Oh, it was a professional. It had to be Lobos." No, Lobos probably only seen one guy. He wouldn't seen a firing squad at you. I feel like Lobos guys are some trained killers. Like when you really notice a Lobos killer, it's too late. He's too close. You're done. It wasn't no damn Lobos. He knows it wasn't Lobos. Maybe he's just trying to like nobody else would have the balls to do this. It had to be Lobos, but you never know. So with that being said, we see he's actually confessing that he's been chosen to do something that doesn't know if he can really do it. The father tells him like, I'm pretty sure you killed somebody before. I'm pretty sure you did a lot of this heinous crimes. So think about it this way. If how did that how if I'm sorry, how does you not doing it actually affect you? What's gonna happen? Who's gonna be hurt by you not doing it? And who's gonna be hurt by you doing it? Weigh out the con and the pros, and then you decide which one is a better choice to make. And we don't get to see him make a chance like that. We see he just go home. He talks to Holly. We see once Holly finds out, she takes it into her own hands. But we see he gets in an argument with Holly too. His episode about trust again. Last episode was about him not trusting her. Now this week he flipped it on like, oh, you don't trust me to take care of this, which he wasn't really gonna take care of. We know he's still struggling with it. I personally felt like after that argument him and Ghost had last week, that is gonna push him over the edge, but it didn't. And I want to know why. Maybe it's for Tariq. Like I said, he's really close with Tariq. He doesn't want Tariq to be out with the father. I don't think he can live with himself if he actually took Tariq's father from him, and then he's in Tariq's face, like loving him, not loving him, but smiling, let him know like he's always there for him. It's kind of hard to be there for somebody after you took their father from him. So it looked like I was alone on that prediction that Ghost had pushed him over the edge. It actually seemed like he kind of forgave. He was mad at Ghost, but he forgave him for that little situation. But yeah, one thing he did mess up about, he told Holly how to get a hit set up. And I understand she learned the business, but why does she need to learn how to set hits up and things of that nature? I don't even think Tasha knows how to get a hit done. So there's no reason for Holly to know how to do that. Then also with that, there's also like we have to see. I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand why he taught her how to get that hit. It was really pointless, but it was used to push the story on later on. So it all turned out well in the end. So that's another thing with Tommy. He doesn't really seem too shaken up. Like he's seen ballers that he got hit, but he just holding his arm, drinking, walking the house like it's nothing. He's cool with like, oh, I got shot. I'll be fine. Like it's not a death wound. And it doesn't look too bad when he took his jacket off. It looked worse when he actually had his jacket on. When we see the blood come out of his jacket. It looked worse than it actually was. But hey, let's move on to Holly. So when Tommy walks into the door, I love how Holly just went into the what happened. She bosses up. She goes like, oh, let's get some peroxide, some band-aids so we can heal this wound. We don't want you to get infected or anything. I love that. I love to see that Holly's getting stronger with the street knowledge, the street side of Tommy. I loved it. I enjoyed that part of it. And then One thing I didn't like about the episode, she was pretty naggy on the. I understand she's pregnant. She's worried about the child. I don't like how she kept calling to figure out what I'm gonna do. I feel like she either needed to make a decision, like either she's gonna get the abortion or she's gonna keep it. Obviously, I feel like she's gonna keep it now at this point that she made the decision to get Ghost killed. She just shows up to the Jamaican spot, and the thing that bothers me with this scene is I don't remember if it was Tommy or Ghost, but one of them showed up, and when they ordered the hit, they had to order like a turtle soup or something like that. It was some weird soup they had to order, which meant a hit. They put the money in the menu, and it was done. But this time, they actually sent Holly to the son, and Holly had to sit down with the son, giving him money and whatever. But hey, maybe the process changed. I don't know how. I never got a hit set up, so maybe it changes from time to time. Maybe I had to give them some face-to-face customer service. Yeah, but I I don't know. Like I still think it was a good episode. Like I said, there's a couple things that bothered me. There's a couple things that didn't bother me. Like I liked that Dre was stepping up and they showed Dre developing inside the nightclub. I like how they showed Kanan was getting advice from his little cousin to show the respect that he actually had for her in this episode. And a couple things I didn't like I said, I didn't like how they had Ruiz mopping floors. You're a drug dealer. You should have had money saved up. There's no reason that you're here mopping a fucking floor. I didn't like that. I don't understand it. It was stupid. No drug dealer is gonna go on a run and mop a floor. And I don't even know why he was still in America. Why were you still in America if you're on a run from Lobos, a drug? It just didn't make sense. He should have been hard to find. He shouldn't have been in America. He shouldn't be mopping floors. He shouldn't be broke. It was so many things wrong with Ruiz's little storyline in this episode. But besides that that was it. But the power move of the week, me personally, I feel like it goes to Holly. Like Holly just bossed up when Tommy came in shot. Holly just bossed up. And when it got even though it was a lie, she made it seem like she was going to get the Bentleys and everything so she could make sure that Tommy was good. So for me personally, I got to give the power move of the week to Holly. Holly bossed up this week. And with that being said, that's all we have for this week. Like I said, my name is Aston. Don't forget to follow the website, follow the Lost Culture on Instagram at Lost_Culture. Follow me on Instagram at Saint_Aston. And as always, stay lost, folks.
6 beats.